sports card collectors and investors. It is Monday, back to the grind. Had to kind of regroup after yesterday. Apologies, I did not get a video out yesterday. It was my wife's birthday, and selfishly, it had to be all about her. Hope she doesn't watch this, but she knows I'm kidding. But also, the Mavs season ended yesterday, and so had to kind of go into a hole mentally and just kind of deal with that, scream into a pillow for about 30 minutes straight. Okay, maybe not 30 minutes straight. It was more like 60 minutes straight. But I feel pretty good in the sense that, look, I mean, they came up against a Clippers team, a very veteran team, extremely deep team. And I mean, there's a few takeaways I think that we can assess, or kind of what I took away from this playoff series, and I think it'll be a really good learning experience for a young Mavs team. First off, Porzingis goes out. He's got another knee injury on the other knee. That's a big concern. I mean, Porzingis is an all-world player when he can get in there and he's healthy. I mean, he can play with anybody, and he is a definite number two to Luka. He's a great player. So I think that you really got to watch his progression with the knee. Hopefully it's not anything serious. I don't know if they announced if he needs surgery or not, but even still, even if it's not something serious, it was serious enough to keep him out for the rest of a very important playoff series. So it was serious enough. So I think that that's going to be something that we have to watch moving forward. If we're looking at the overall series that they played, and again, I believe this was a better Clippers team. I think this is a championship Clippers team, honestly. But what I did notice was there was kind of some immaturity in the sense that, guys like Morris and some of the other Clippers were able to get underneath their skin very easily. Luka was, and granted, I mean, they were playing him tough. A lot of borderline type stuff where maybe it could have been called a foul and it wasn't. But Luka wasn't able to kind of, mentally you could see he was on edge. Now, granted, he responded, so it's not as if it took him out of his game. He was still throwing up all sorts of crazy stats throughout the series. The last game that they lost, I think he posted 38, 9, and 9 a line. So, Luka is the future. There is no doubt about that. I think that he answered that call. He didn't get into the playoffs and just completely fold. They didn't get swept. They played a competitive series, especially with him on a bum ankle, and Porzingis going out. I mean, no one expected them to win the series with that scenario. They really needed to be at full strength, health-wise, to even have a chance. So I think that there's some, just from a leadership standpoint. The other thing is the Clippers have, it reminds me, it kind of reminded me growing up. I watched I used to actually cry when the Bulls lost to the Pistons at the end of the 80s, and the Pistons won their back-to-back championships, and that was with Dennis Rodman, Joe Dumars, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, and these guys bullied you on defense, and whether they were actually, hacking you or they were talking to you, it was nonstop for the entire game. They were going, just going at it. Bill Laimbeer's sole purpose on the basketball court was to get in the other team's head. I don't think they cared if he scored 1 point. I mean, they wanted him to rebound and play defense, but that guy was on the floor to get under the other team's skin, and that's what. There's a couple of Clippers you can tell that is their role. But like Morris can knock down threes. He can score too. I mean, the Clippers are so deep. It's just unbelievable. I mean, I think that of course you've got the Nuggets, Jazz. They've got a good young core. They're exciting. And then you look at the Thunder, and the Thunder are a similar team. Great young core, young talent. They've got probably a bright future. The Rockets are that one team. They've got some playoff experience. I mean, Russ and Harden have been there before. So if there's one team that can kind of get up on the Lakers or the Clippers, maybe it's them. Maybe they can outscore them. I mean, Harden is just going to have to go lights out, and they're going to have to catch some breaks. But I really only see the Rockets as the team that can kind of take down one of these teams, one of these LA teams. But I think, honestly, as a fan, I really want to see that LA showdown in the Western Conference Championship, in the Western Conference Finals. I want to see the Clippers against the Lakers. I want to see the best two players in the world right now are Kawhi Leonard and LeBron. I mean, you could probably throw some other guys in that mix, but as far as leading the team, the leaders of the league right now, those are the two guys with the championship experience, with the pedigree, they're just surgeons. They don't, I mean, they're robotic on the court. They step up their level of play when needed. And so that is the series that I want to see going into the NBA Finals, whether that's the Bucks, the Raptors, the Celts. It'll be really interesting to see. But, man, the Clippers looked really good. So props to the Clippers. They're moving on. And let's get into kind of what this video is going to talk about, Luka prices, because Luka's prices have skyrocketed over the last 12 months, and for good reason. I mean, he gives you that kind of feeling that, look, when LeBron's gone, Kawhi's only 29. So, I mean, honestly, I think there's going to be a lot of really fun Warriors, Mavs, Clippers playoff series over the next 3 years. And, of course, you'll throw in some other teams in there, too, that are going to be exciting. But the West is going to be fun to watch, especially with the Warriors reloading and coming back. So with Luka's cards, I'm going to look kind of mainly at Prism base, Optic base rookies, in a PSA 10, and then also his select. And I'm just very quickly kind of going over. The question is, are prices going to sag now, that the Mavs are out of the playoffs, and they're not playing right this second? And we've already kind of seen it. If I'm looking at some eBay sold listings, I'll see if I can get some screenshots up while I'm talking too. But base Prism PSA 10s, I believe at one point we're at that $2,000 to $2,200 range. And we're seeing sales that have dropped back down into that $1,400 to $1,700 range fairly consistently. So you have seen kind of a pullback, and the same goes for the optics. I actually showed maybe a month ago, I bought two Luka Optic PSA 10s. I put it on a credit card, and my wife was notified about it because it was like a kind of an odd charge. She called me immediately, and I paid $600 each for those. I believe that they got up to about $1,000, and now they've come back. They've retreated back to about $700 or $750. Those are long-term holds for me. I have no plans on selling those at any point, but I'm curious to see, if they continue to fall, or if there's a rebound, or if they continue to fall, and if is it going to continue downward? Is it going to bounce back once we get more into the off season? Who knows? But I'm very interested in watching that. And then also the select, I believe it's Concourse base rookie card. That one has come back down as well. I think those were as high as about $1,000. I don't own any of those. The select, I think that might have gotten up to about $1,000 each, maybe a little bit more. And those are at about $600 right now, the Concourse base rookies. So interesting. And I'd like to hear from you guys watching. Is it a buying opportunity for you? There's not too many. I don't feel like we've had too many great buying opportunities for Luka over the last, 6 months, ever since March, really, when everything really started to, move upward in price. So I'm curious to see kind of what is the threshold for you watching Luka. If you are a Luka buyer, or if you're looking to get in, where are you looking at these prices to be where you're going to jump in on it or add more to your collection? I'm curious to hear that from you guys. If they come way down, I would look to add, I believe. We'll see how it goes. I can't imagine them, completely sinking down, too far, but you never know. It's a crazy card market. The last 12 months have been a kind of a wild roller coaster. Are folks going to move more money towards NFL cards? Is it going to go more towards soccer cards, hockey cards, UFC cards, are gaining traction? So really interested to hear from you all. Just wanted to kind of put out a quick video here because I did notice that Luka prices have come down over the last, couple of days. And actually, I think that some of them have retreated over the last week or so. So interested in watching this. This is going to be kind of a fun thing to watch, and we'll continue on it. So guys, thank you very much for joining. Just wanted to get this quick one out to you. Please comment below with your thoughts. And if you have not subscribed, we have over 200 videos now on collectibles investing, sports card investing, all things personal finance kind of mixed in. So we appreciate you being here and hope you stick around. Thank you.